Good. And then another trend we're seeing here is that ERP software will no longer be limited to ERP vendors. And what I may do here is, just in the interest of time, Michael, is maybe combine these third and fourth predictions we have. I'll kind of run through them real quick, and then we'll kind of bounce back to discussion here because they are very much related. So the third one is that ERP software will no longer be limited to ERP vendors. And what we mean by that is that in the past, you had your traditional ERP vendors like SAP, Oracle, Microsoft, Infor, Epicor, et cetera, and those are your ERP options. Well, now all of a sudden, and over the last couple of years, you're seeing a trend to where companies like Salesforce, CRM, that's the one that kind of stands out in my mind, and there's certainly others like Workday and other types of non-ERP systems that are becoming ERP systems, either because they're expanding their own functionality or because they've built out an ecosystem of third-party providers that are building bolt-ons or solutions that fill in the gaps of what they can't do, of what the core system can't do within the ERP realm. So if you look at Salesforce, I mean, it's quite possible that you could go out and buy Salesforce, and through their third-party partner firms and the functionality native to Salesforce, you can have a pretty nice, fully blown ERP system without actually having bought a traditional ERP system. So that's what we mean by that, is that you've got this trend to where these other non-ERP vendors are kind of moving in on the core ERP space. And along with that trend is the fourth trend, which is that best-of-breed systems will continue to make a comeback, and it's directly related to that previous point, that the non-ERP vendors now are not just accepting at face value that they don't do financials or inventory management or the things that ERP systems would typically do on their own. What they're doing now is saying, well, let's build out an ecosystem, or let's build out the functionality of options that consumers or the customers can use to get that full-blown ERP functionality. So the good news with that is that it gives buyers in the marketplace more options. So they don't have to just look at the traditional ERP systems. Now you can look at, a company like Salesforce or a Workday or some of these other CRM or HCM types of systems that are then extending into ERP. Now the bad news with that, or the downside, is that now you've got a ton more options. It just gives you more things to consider, more options to look at, which for a lot of buyers that can be fairly confusing. So that's what we mean by that, kind of the best of breed making a comeback there, and the fact that the ERP space is no longer limited to just ERP vendors. What are your thoughts, Michael?
Yeah, it really is a good news, bad news story. And a lot of this is being enabled by the cloud, because it's the cloud that enables a company like Salesforce, for example, to integrate with an existing ERP systems, SAP or whatever it might be. And it means for the buyers, it means that you have the opportunity to pick and choose a set of products, each of which covers a particular set of functionality, and tailor a system to your specific particular business needs. And that gives you, so you have that flexibility, but there is that downside, or I shouldn't say downside, but let's say a challenge associated with it, because you can end up cobbling together a kind of Frankenstein system of your own making, where it's difficult to integrate data, where the user interfaces of each product are difficult, which makes the training and the use of the system more difficult. So if you go down the best of breed path, and there's certainly nothing wrong with it, there's very good reasons to do it, but if you go down that best of breed path, then you need to be prepared for the extra consideration and effort that's required to find the right product and make sure that the pieces that you're assembling will work well together and will be durable over an extended period of time. So this is an interesting one, Eric.